Hi, everybody. My name is Paola Varela Perez. I was born and raised in Mexico. Now I live in Germany, and I'm the managing director and founder of Holy Roots, a food tech startup that focuses on the reduction of food loss. I study international business and management, and I have a master's degree in bioeconomy from the University of Hohenheim in Germany. I am the managing director and head of marketing and sales of Holy Roots, which is a food tech startup active in the field of bioeconomy, which goal is to contribute to a more sustainable food system. What we are doing is mitigating the food loss at the primary level, meaning at the farmer stage. So our mission is to help farmers to rescue the vegetables that did not pass the farmer's gate because of market standard resource or overproduction. And here I have a very clear example. So here you have a carrot that it's pretty weird. And also, not very similar to the perfect one that we found in the market. So this vegetable is perfectly good to eat and healthy. So we rescue this type of veggies and integrate them in a high value, healthy food product for end consumers like you and me. Our first launching product is an organic vegetable cracker. Here you can see this is made of carrot. And today we just launched 1 year ago, and so far we have been able to rescue 2 tons of vegetables that otherwise would have ended up in the field or in the biomass. I have two main sources of inspiration, and one is nature, and the other one is people. So our world has incredible, beautiful, and majestic things, and also I have had the privilege that during my whole career I have met very inspiring people that is through their work, direct or indirect, they are trying to contribute to a cleaner, fair, or in overall better world. At the same time, I have been fortunate and also not so fortunate to see how not protecting our environment and not protecting minority groups has consequences. Well, I have seen the consequences of it. So this has served me as an inspiration that when I needed to check, okay, when I needed to decide what I'm going to focus in my career, I decided I want to have a more direct impact and to work in something that contributes to a better environment and a better society. And that's why I decided to become a social entrepreneur in the field of bioeconomy. My typical working day looks pretty similar to a normal work. So the first thing that I do is to check my emails to see if there's something urgent. I put a special attention to clients and business partners as we are a startup and we just launched in the market. These are the most important emails that I need to check. And then I literally prioritize my tasks during the week and of the day. Because as the startup could be very hectic and unpredictable, so you have sometimes many things to organize. So a lot of my time gets on organizing things as a manager. And after that, I have lunch. I go out with my colleagues, with my business, with my partners. And following the break, I usually have a lot of meetings because we do a lot of activity on brand awareness and networking. So I meet a lot of people that I can do synergies. And finally, I end up my day 6 p.m. And I check LinkedIn and Instagram because it's a very valuable source of networking and communication for the startup. So an overview of my study path is that actually I study international business and management, and I start working in international well-known companies. Business as usual, not like anything related with sustainability. And there I gained a very good experience of international relations and also management, communication, and presentation skills that definitely helped me a lot to grow as a future manager. And however, I also realized that I was not the profile that fits perfectly in so well-established organizations, because, and also that they are profit-oriented, because of my personal interests and as well as my personality. I'm a person that loves innovation and creation. So if you put me a challenge that creates something new, that's my perfect environment. So that in well-structured companies doesn't really fit, because there are already processes that have worked, and sometimes you cannot really come with new ideas. So then I decided, okay, I need to change my career path, my focus, and something that aligns more to what I believe on my interests. So I was always very inclined for sustainability, but at that time I didn't have any idea of bioeconomy. To be honest, I study business. So I say, okay, the Master of Bioeconomy here in the University of Hohenheim in Germany, what sounds very interesting. Also was a new thing. As mentioned, I never heard about before. I didn't have any models to follow. It was just something that this sounds good. This sounds interesting. I want to try it. So it happened that it was the best decision that I could take in my whole my career till now. And I got engaged a lot in entrepreneurship programs, because seeing my experience in the other companies, I knew that I want to do something. I want to found a company. I was not sure about that. But then I got involved in the social entrepreneurship programs of the EIT, that it was a food competition about how to make our food system more sustainable. And actually that was the foundations of Holy Roots. And then I also got involved in programs of, to promote sustainable food systems. And well, through the Bioeconomy Master, I found very inspiring people in the field of social entrepreneurship, and in general in other topics, that was practically what helped me to define in which career path I will continue. So the main skill that I need and I continue developing for doing my job is in the professional field, project management. Managing and executing a project is vital. So you need to come with a plan, and this plan need to have dates. This time need to have key performance indicators. So something that I have learned is that, when you don't put your idea into a plan and you don't delegate, then it doesn't become real. So that's number one, project management skills. Communication skills, basic. It's a startup. Nobody has done what you've done before. You need to convince people. You need to convince your future business partners. You need to convince the clients. You need to convince the future team member why this startup worth it. So, and on that, you need to develop very good communication skills. Because if you don't sound like a convincing person, a person that they can trust, then why they will invest or collaborate with you? Then teamwork. Teamwork is the key for success. I believe that it's very hard or almost impossible to come with something great alone, because you need other perspectives, you need other opinions, and you need to challenge your ideas. So teamwork is vital. And then personal qualities. Here there's a lot, but like the top 5, I would say, are determination. It's a journey that requires that you keep pushing, because there will be so many opportunities that you can fail, or that people will say, I don't think that that's a good idea. I don't think that you are doing a good job. I don't think that you actually have the skills to do your job. So you need to be determined to prove it that it's wrong and to surprise yourself. And really, determination, you need to walk up with determination. You need to breathe determination. And that's something that you need to build also. It's not something that maybe some people will have it more, but it's a building process. Then self-confidence, very close to determination. You need to convince people. People need to trust you. So if you are insecure, well, nobody will really trust in somebody that doesn't even trust themselves. Humble. I have the privilege that the startup is going well for this early stage, and I have met a lot of people And something that I realized is that sometimes it's very easy that you get a little bit up in the clouds. So it's very important to remember where you come from, who has been the people that has helped you, and to stay yourself and very well rooted, and remember your background. Transparency and honesty. Okay, there were a lot. I will close it up with transparency and honesty because it's very important that you always stay true of what you're doing, of who you are, what the startup is doing, and nobody's expecting that you're perfect. The startup is perfect. So better just to be honest what you are working to make better rather than just sell the perfect picture. Nobody's perfect. And that will be for me the first red flag if somebody's trying to sell themselves that I know everything's good, perfect here. And the last thing, a lot of bravery. You need to be brave because there are things that will come that will hurt you, and you need to say, okay, I can do it. The main challenges in my job, actually, I will summarize it in one, and there are many, but I think that the biggest one is actually to work in an international, interdisciplinary team. So this is something that in the bioeconomy it's very foster, and I also support it a lot to look for teams that they are holistic. So to work in an international interdisciplinary team is actually a great significant advantage that you will have towards other teams. But also it's very challenging because you will work with people that have another background, that they have other skills, that they don't think and see and understand a situation the same as you. And if you are somebody of a personality that is very of taking action, and then you have your partner that is a person that needs more time, that needs to check the details, then there are a lot of rushes. So it's something unique to have such a team, but it's also very challenging, and you need to work a lot and put a lot of effort to make it work. And you need to make it work because the outcomes are pretty remarkable. And in the case of Holy Roots, for example, I come from Mexico. I have a business in international business. I have a background in international business, and I'm a very extrovert, outgoing person because of my personality and also how I was trained in business. And then I have my partner that is a food scientist. She's very analytical. She's very focused on the details. So when you see it from a meta phase, actually we complement perfectly, and that is always one thing that we recognize because she sees what I don't see, and she also understands things that she doesn't understand the first side. So we complement each other. Our weakness become our strength together, but obviously personality traits and so on make it sometimes difficult. So it's an effort, and you need both of those persons on board to say, okay, I will make it work to understand better my partner. What I am most passionate in my work is to create things new. I love that idea that I have a challenge and I can create whatever. So this is pure creativity, and this is something very unique, and that you can only do in a startup. Also to break the status quo and to surprise people with something that, wow, I never heard that before, or I never thought that you can do this way. So this disruptive innovation is something that I really love. And then the second one is that to be a source of inspiration with my very short experience, but that I can already see that I can inspire other social entrepreneurs, especially women from developing countries that there's very little representation of women in business and very little more of women from developing countries. And the time that I have had the opportunity to give conferences or just talk, sometimes they write me on LinkedIn, hey, can you help me? I found your profile, I would like to do the same, but I don't have the tools or whatsoever. So to know that I can contribute, that more women get more secure about themselves and to go out, that's for me a very big honor. So that is one of the things that I love the most. So one is regarding making the food system more sustainable. We know that the food system is one of the responsibles of high carbon emissions. So if we want to do a change for our future, we need to put attention on the food system. So so we are rescuing vegetables, like I mentioned, like this one, and we transform it into this. But to come with this solution, it requires that we have an holistic and that we apply the principles of bottom-up approach. And example of it is that there's a lot of great ideas, sustainable oriented ideas, that they say, okay, there's food waste at this stage. So my proposal is to do this product with these characteristics and we use that waste. So you can see this is the top-down approach, that you decide what is going to be the solution of the problem. So we took it the other way around. We go out and we say, okay, there's a lot of waste that puts by the first stage of the supply chain in the food system. So who is the main affected stakeholder? Is the farmers. So we went to visit the farmers and we talked to them and we asked the first question, do you actually have this problem? And they say yes. And then we say, okay, which are the most conflicted vegetables? And they say beetroot and carrot. And then we went to the production line, and it was through this also very important step, visiting, observing, that my partner actually saw that there were tons of leek that were being separated. And she asked, hey, why they are separating the leek? And they say, oh, even the farmer didn't realize that actually there's tons of leek waste, because if they have a spot on the upper part of the leek, it's thrown away. So these make us realize that when we are going to do social entrepreneurship and sustainability, we need to, it's not just creating a sustainable product, it's that your whole work needs to be sustainable based, and this is a very clear example of applying sustainability principles on your business. So it was through this collaborative approach that we create products that have a more direct impact to mitigate the food loss. And well, this is one, and the other one is it was linked to what I mentioned before, the presence of female and international funders in business, in conference, in forums. I have participated in a lot of panel discussions, forums, and conferences where I'm the only woman. And I actually didn't realize that until one colleague of mine said, have you realized that you're the only woman? And the only young woman. Usually there are not so many. So then I realized the importance of representations, and that's why whenever there's a project that I can talk about it or that I can contribute, I say yes, because representation is vital. And if we don't see people like us, like they're doing something, then it lacks this inspiration, this example. So that's part of actually something vital to contribute to a more equal and better society. First, now or never. If you have an idea that you are very driven, that you believe on it, then right now, actually, as a student, is the perfect moment to try. Because if you say, okay, I will do it when I have a job, or I will do it when, I don't know, later I have financial stability, then this later will probably never come. So if you have something, just do it now. And as a student, you have a very good network with the university. So I can say that based on experience, it really helped me to move things faster, as if I were already in the outside. Be fearless and bold. So fear is the worst enemy of innovation. Like, that's it. So if you are fear, then you have fear, then it's very hard that you will come with something great. And to be loud, I mean bold, to be loud and to say what you want, what you believe is would be a great idea or your opinion, because there's a lot of voices around, so you need to be sure that your voice is heard. And then I will also say to be determined, as mentioned before, determination is vital, and to plan. I have heard from a lot of people that have great ideas, that they're super determined, they're bold, they are fearless, but they don't plan. And if you don't plan how you're going to move your idea from an idea to a product ready for launch, then it just stays there as an idea. My advice for teachers is to encourage innovation, to encourage creativity, discussions, and to foster the self-confidence in students. It's important to open discussion forums during the classes, to have projects that do push the students to create something new, instead of having whole lectures that is just about reading the achievements of others. So when there's no discussion, when there's no challenge, it's hardly that somebody will actually realize that has a great potential to be an entrepreneur. So that's very important. And for parents, I mean, I have that from my own parents, that I was a little bit afraid of asking for help. I mean, I'm not so young anymore. I already finished my master, so I was a little bit afraid of asking for help. But then, actually, my own parents made me realize that it's vital to support your children, to support your son, daughter. If you see determination and passion in them, and if you see that they're putting so much effort on making happen it, and support comes in many different ways. If it cannot be financial, it can be moral. That, hey, wake up, you can do it. So, and this is something that I learned from my parents, and it's very sad to see that there's actually so great potential out there, but it's missing this support, because maybe the parents, even themselves, they're too afraid that the children will fail. And that's the main reason why they will foster maybe to have a normal job, or to have a less risky career, not necessarily to be an entrepreneur, but to have a more established career. So it's because it's the own fear of the parents. So it's very important to transmitting this fear to their children, and to say, I see that you are doing your best to make it happen. I will support you in every single way that I can. And that will be my advice.